The subject is Public Office Administration. And today we are talking about the module block 2 of the Office Organization and Environment. In this, today we'll be talking about two topics, that is the principles of office organization, and second one is office environment. In this today, first we will discuss what is an office or an organization. An organization is an organized group of people, we can say, who come together who come together or with a particular purpose, such as a business or a government department. That is, people who come together, a group of people who come together to fulfill a common objective, and in this also there might be personal gains. That is, there might be each one of them might be having their own personal gains. That is, the workers might be expecting good remunerations, and the management, they might be expecting good profits and all these aspects. But ultimately each one of them come together to achieve a common objective or a common goal. That is known as an organization. Now, when we talk about Herbert Simon in this organization, why we are talking about Herbert Simon? Herbert Simon explains us about decision making in an organization and how decision making explains or is important in the organization. So Herbert Simon identifies 5 purposes for the formation of an organization. The first one we can say is the division of work among its members. The division of work among its members. Now, what do we understand by this word, the division of work among its members? Division of work, that is, each one of them being assigned special duty or given them the work, what has to be done, who has to do it, when it has to be performed. When all these are being taken into consideration, that is known as division of work. So when each individual is assigned the work, and when all of them work coordinating each other with good cooperation, then this is considered to be the teamwork. Ultimately, an organization needs a better teamwork to perform all the activities, to perform or to achieve the objectives of the organization. So the first important purpose of the organization in the perspective of Herbert Simon we are talking about. So the first one is division of work among its members. Second one is establishment of standard practices. Establishment of standard practices. Now, when the division of work is being given, then they should follow some practices. That is, what are be the standard practices? They are, we can say that following rules and regulations, coordinating with each other, and also we can say that the rules and regulations are important. Following each other is another important thing, and coordinating with each other, following the principles of the organization, taking up loyalty as an important motto of the organization, whereby giving good, we can say, giving the best out of the organization. Then these are all the establishment of standard practices, where if the organization sets these standards, then everybody will try to follow them. Everybody will think that yes, this organization works in a systematical order and a systematical procedure, so we have to follow them, and who don't follow also will try to follow these objectives, which will in turn help the organization to achieve the targets or the objectives, we can say. Now, the third important purpose of the organization, according to Herbert Simon, is the third, transmission of authority and decisions. Now, what is transmission? Transmission is giving the authority and decision making. in many of the systems, we see that the authority, everybody tries to showcase the authority. Now, what is authority? Authority is making the people work on their rules and regulations or on their norms. That if we say that a person who wants a supervisor in an organization, he will make the people under him, the workers, work according to him. That is, he will show his authority that I am the supervisor. So you have to listen to me. Whatever might be, you have to. So that is authority, showing the supremacy of decision making, where the supervisor, he uses the decision making, that I can take the decisions on behalf of you. I can take decisions, and as I am the authoritative person on behalf of you, I can take the decisions. So now this can be a good one also. This can be an advantage and as well as a disadvantage also. Why? Because the advantageous perspective is, it will, if the supervisor is very understanding, if he is having very good leadership skills, if he is able to understand each and every employee or the worker who is working under him, if everything goes on well, then everybody will try to listen to him, coordinate with him, understand to his ideology, and they will be loyal to the organization. With altogether, there will be, we can see or we can observe a team effort. That is very important for the organization to achieve the organizational objectives. So the supervisor, the authority and decision making has to be, this is a transmission, means it has to move on from one and another to achieve the objectives of the organization. Then the next one, the fourth one, is provision of communication system. Now, what is provision of communication system? We all know in the last classes, we discussed about what is communication. Communication is the face-to-face interaction or the verbally also, that is through words, conveying a message and receiving the message is known as a communication. So provision of communication system, that is understanding one another with a face-to-face understanding, verbal interaction, or through a letter, through mail, when if we are, or virtually also. Why? Because if now this class is a virtual meeting where there is a communication system going on. Through this virtual class, you are able to understand the subject. I am trying to make the subject to be more understandable to you. So this is a platform where the communication has been practiced in a better manner. So provision, this virtual class can also be an example of a provision of communication system. Through this communication system, each one and everyone is able to understand the subject and coordinating with one another to achieve the common goal. Now, the achievement of the common goal of in your perspective is going for your exams and working for the exams and getting a good grade. So, provision of communication system in the perspective of an organization, we can say that the communication system, the face-to-face interaction, talking of one and another, communicating with one another in a very conducive atmosphere, with a good language, everything is very, very important in the decision making and also in the working of the organization. Then the last one we can say is about training of its members. Now, each one of them who is working in the organization or who is into the organization or who has come into the organization, a new person. Now, each and every person needs training. Why? Because a person who is new to the organization, he needs training to understand what is the concept of that organization, what are the objectives of the organization, what is the motto of the organization, and who is working with the organization, and what is the management, who are the employees, the structure, the work nature, the culture of the organization. These are all the basic things. The work schedule, workload, all these are very, very important. This is also training only, because if you go as we take ourselves as an example, if we go to any place, we might not know what is where. So when we go and interact with one and another, we will get to know that, okay, this building might be having these things, they might be explaining that. So we will get to know when we talk to the people. That is also a training process. Now, this is all about the persons who are new to the organization, but we can see many people who are working in the organization also, and they also undergo training process. Why? Because now in the present scenario, every day is a new challenge. Every day is a new task. Every day we are experiencing new things, new innovations, new technology, new methods, everything. So every day for us as a common man also, every day it is a learning process to us. We cannot say that I have a book, I will read today. No. Tomorrow, there might be another book in the market, or a new technology. Now, previously, we used to have only landline phones. Then we have improved ourselves and we started to use technology. Now we are using smartphones and Google Meets, Zoom calls, all these virtual classes. Now, as we have upgraded ourselves to the present scenario, likewise, in the organizations also, the training process is not an end one. Every day, each employee has to undergo a training process which will help the organization as well as the employees to be on the positive side. That is, what is going on in the market, what is happening in the market, are we in the competition, are we in the market trends, this. And the employees also have to upgrade themselves in their career. They cannot say that I will lean back and I will think I will be in this system only. I will not go use the new methods and new technology. Then the organization might feel that this person is not worth for the work. So then every time in all these aspects, an employee or a worker should prove himself to be, and he should consider to be an asset to the organization. And the organization also should feel that the particular employee or whichever employee is working is an asset to the organization. They should not feel that this employee is not worthy to be in this organization. That is very, very important in the work culture or working of the organization, we can say. This is all about the Herbert Simon's perspective, and he identified these 5 processes of organization. Now, we will talk about the organization as a process. That is, what are the steps needed for an organization to be in the process? That is, the organization, what are the steps needed for the organization to be a healthy and productive organization? The first and foremost, we can say, establishment of an enterprise objective. Now, what we understand by this term, establishment of the enterprise objective. Enterprise, company, organization, department, government department, entity, all these are the synonyms of an organization. So now what is enterprise objective? Enterprise objective is what is the goal of that organization. If you take a private organization, their ultimate goal will be profit. But if you take a government organization, their motto will be welfare of the citizens, taking care of the people, providing them the basic facilities. These might be the objectives on the government perspective. So each individual or each enterprise or each company has to consider and first keep itself an objective that in this year, what have to be achieved, means what I have to achieve, what my company has to achieve. For example, if we take as a student, now the student, ultimate objective of the student is to get better grades, to complete his graduation in the stipulated time, to because his objective is to good grades, better grades, to get a better job, to settle in life. This might be the objective of a student. Now, in the perspective of an organization, private organization is profit. That is, it has to be in the market. It has to face the competition of the market. These are the objectives of an organization. So an organization has to first understand the objective for what it is striving for. What is its goal? For what everybody is. Now, an organization cannot run on its own, that everybody will take their own decisions, everybody will get their salaries, and everybody will be working. No, it cannot happen, because what has to be done and ultimately what has to be achieved. There should be a system. Then only everybody will strive to achieve that. But if you don't have a goal, then what is the use of working? So the basic important step in the process of organization is understanding the objective or establishment of an objective. That is the first important step in the process of organization. Then coming to the second one, formulation of policies for the objective. That is, the policy is, the objective is the ultimate goal. Ultimate goal has to be achieved, but how? There should be a policy. There should be how it has to be done. What is the planning? What has to be each one of them? That is, all workers cannot be assigned all the duties, and the organization cannot expect everybody to do everything. So it has to have a policy. That is, if you work these many hours, you will be getting this much salary, this many incentives, and each one of them, the policy is policy means initiative to make the people work. So there should be a policy to attain the objective. That is a second important one. The third one is determination. Now, what is determination? Determination to achieve the objective. Determination, that confidence, yes, I can do it. I can achieve the target. So each individual or each worker in the organization has to be determined that I will work for the organization in the achievement of the organizational goals. I have to work for the organization. That is very, very important. Then they should be, we can say that there should be a determination. Yes, I have to work for the organization. That is very important. Then enumeration and classification of activities. If you have only determination, can the things be worked out, or can the things can be put in its place? No, it cannot be. As I told you, everybody cannot work on everything. So classification of activities has to be done. Classification is who is good in what. That has to be divided. Then each one of them, based on their specialization, based on their capability, based on their skill, based on their timing, everything, they have to be considered and they have to be given that particular objective or the particular activity. In turn, they will, when they are being given, or when the individual employee is being assigned the work, with their inner capability and whatever skill they are having, then ultimately they will work with sincerity. They will show loyalty because they will be happy that, yes, I know the work what the organization has given to me. Then I can also work in a productive manner. If I don't know that work, now as a teacher, if somebody tells me that, come on, take a class for botany students, I may not be able to do. I may not be able to do justice to the science students because my specialization is in this subject. I have worked on this. This is my inner skill. This is my capability. This is my inner strength. So if the work which is not been assigned, if I have been assigned to do the work of a botany teacher, I may not do justice. I may not show that loyalty to the organization. So that is, classification of objectives is very, very important. Then the next one is grouping of activities. Now, grouping of activities, it is of two types. Now, what are they? It is human resources and material resources. Human resources is, in the last classes, we discussed about human resources. Human resources is the workforce, the employees or the workers who are working in the organization for the achievement of the organizational goals. They are considered to be human resource. And the second one is material resource. Material resource is the raw material or the finished goods or the infrastructure what is being used. When these two are being divided, what has to be used when, then everything can fall in its place. That is grouping of the activities. Then the next organizational step in this is delegating the authorities. Delegating the authorities, assigning or giving them, each one of them, that is, the managers will be given the authority to take the responsibility, or to authority is make the people work through the having a control on them, and in making the people, influencing the people to work for the organization, showing authority and making the people work for the organization. So delegating this authority means giving this, passing on this authority in the hierarchical structure. That is, the management is the ultimate authority, decision making will be with them. But after that, the departments will be having, each department will be having their own managers. So the managers will be having their authority pertaining to the department. A financial manager will have the authority to take decisions of the finance matters. The HR, production, like that, each manager will have their own authority. Under them, the supervisors. The supervisors can have authority, can show authority to make the workers work for the organization. Then the next one is tying up these together horizontally, that is relationships. Relationship. Now, what do we understand by the term relationship? Relationship is the cordial association of people. Now, if without any misunderstanding, without any hard feelings, if they have any hard feelings, or if they have any misunderstandings, then they may not be able to work properly. So the relationships have to be maintained in a very cordial manner. Then the last one is fixing of responsibilities. Now, what do we understand by the term fixing of responsibility? Fixing means giving each other a responsibility, making them feel that you are capable enough. You are capable enough in performing these activities. You are, and making them feel that you are a capable person, so you can take up this responsibility. If anything goes wrong also, you will be a better person to address these problems. So fixing the responsibility, with the fixing of responsibility, each one of them will feel that, yes, I have a responsibility on my shoulder. The management has trusted me. So I have to work for the organization. I should take up this responsibility as a challenge. So these are the very important objectives or the very important steps which have to be taken care of when the organization is being set up, when the organization process goes on. So this is all about the organization as a process and the steps involved in this. Next is types of organization. Now, the types of organization, there are two types: formal organization and informal organization. Formal organization. Now, what does that mean? Formal organization has a well-defined job, responsibilities, duties, everything. Means formal organization has everything that is in a systematical procedure, in a systematical order. When everything is being placed in a systematical manner, everything is placed in a systematical positions, then everybody, everybody is following the rules and regulations, when everybody is following the norms of the organization and listening to one and another, working for the objective of the organization, that is known as formal organization. Formal is following rules and regulations, maintaining the standards, maintaining the protocol, maintaining the cordial relationships, keeping aside the misunderstandings, hard feelings, all this, that is very important. This is the most important type of organization which is followed in every department organization, that is a formal one. Then we have the second type, that is informal. It refers to the relationships between people and the organization. Now, what does that mean? It means that the association or the relationship of the workers and the organization. Now, at times, the workers have to be shown by the management that they are being taken care of, they are being looked upon. This means keeping aside the rules and regulations, keeping aside the systematical procedure, just in an informal way. That is, for example, if any employee excels in his work, does a very good work, which might be a benefit to the organization, then just a tap at the back, that saying him that you have done a very good job, clapping for him, recognizing his work in front of his colleagues, telling everybody, telling them everybody that what you have done. This can be considered as a motivation, as increasing the morale of the employee, and this is one type of non-monetary benefit also. Or in terms, we can say this is a type of incentive to make the employee feel special, that yes, you are special to the organization. You are an asset to the organization, which will make the employee feel more happier. He will say that, yes, the organization has recognized me. The organization has looked up to my work and has understood my pain and has given me that recognition and importance in front of everybody. So this might be a very good motivating factor. And with this, what happens is there will be a cordial relationship existing between the management as well as the employee. Now, this is on the perspective of the employee, but in turn, the management also might expect something. This is an informal one where if the organization, if the management hikes the salary or gives some good incentives to the employees, then it is the responsibility of the employees also they should go to the management and tell the management that how special they are, how special they are for the how special they are for them, because they feel telling them that giving them or telling them that how important they are for giving them a good salary, by giving them the incentives and thanking them. In turn, we can say that the thanking them and saying that thank you for your gesture, giving us the importance of the salary or giving us the incentives. This can be a very good motivation for the management also, whereby the management also will feel that, yes, the employees are happier with us, they are happy with us. So we should work for better opportunities. We should be very close to the employees and make them feel special so that they show more loyalty towards the organization. So we can say that this can be a vice versa process. We can say that this is a vice versa process, because give and take policy also we can say. Why? Because if the management recognizes the work of the employees, and in turn, if the employees also consider the organization's work, considers the management's, because if the management gives them good infrastructure, good equipment, good material to work in a better manner, or better technology, then it in turn helping each other to gain to better opportunities for the organization, or we can say to achieve the organizational standards and organizational objectives. So these are the two important types of organization, that is the formal and the informal. Now, coming to the structure of the organization, there are in an organization, there are different types of structures which are being involved in the working of the organization. There are 5 steps or 5 types of structures in the organization. The first one is line organization. Line. Now, when we talk about a line, now what does that mean? Line is a straight line. If you draw a line, however, it will be a straight one. Means so a line is the authority flowing from top to bottom. That is line. We never see that the authority being flown from bottom to up. That is, an attender or a class 4 employee will not give duties or will not assign duties to the upper people or in the hierarchy. That is, it might be the management, it might be the managers, the supervisors. So a daily wage worker who comes to the organization for loading and unloading of the material, he cannot show authority because he is placed in the hierarchy at the bottom level. He should listen to the people who are above in the hierarchy. So line structure in the organization is that authority flows from top to bottom in the organization. Then the second one is functional. Functional is personnel and their work are organized. Personnel, I am using the word personnel, PERSONNEL. I am not using the word AL, I am using the word EL. That means EL is related to the employees. It is related to the employees who are working in the organization. They are called as personnel. Personnel means individual, and it might be an individual worker, individual person, a common man. That is an individual. So that is the personnel. Personnel is functional structure in an organization is about personnel and their work are assigned or organized. That is, each individual is being given the work and the work is being organized. That is the personnel. Functional structure is personnel. The employees are being, each employee is being given the work, what he has to work on. That is the functional structure. Then the third one is matrix. Matrix is project and functional manager. Now here we are using two terms, project and functional manager. Project manager is responsible for the whole project, and functional manager is responsible only to a particular function. That is, so matrix is, we all know what is matrix. It is a web or collision of two things. That is a matrix. So when a project manager and a functional manager, when both of them work together, then it will be helpful for the organization. It will help the organization because a project manager might not know what the functional manager has to do, because each one of them have their own duties to perform and have their own authority and responsibilities. So this is a matrix. Matrix consists of project and functional managers. Project manager is the manager of the whole project. That is the assignment which has been given to him. And functional is particular person or a particular work which has been assigned, who have expertise in that, who are having special knowledge in that, is a functional manager. Then the fourth one is line and staff. Line and staff means pure line and pure functional system. That is pure line system. Pure line is the authority flowing from top to bottom. That is a pure one. And pure functional is each individual or whoever is having the we can say functional system. That is, whoever is been having expertise in the functional system, when both of them are being together. That is management line, that the hierarchy which flows from top to bottom, and also the functional. Particularly, I'll explain you like this. The line is the management from the top to bottom. That is, right from the management to the manager level, the authority flows. That is the bottom, from the top to bottom, that is a line. Now, the functional is, the functional system is a functional manager. A functional manager is, a marketing manager is there. A marketing manager can be considered as a functional manager because he is expertised in marketing field. So he will have his own functional system. He knows what has to be done, how the market has to be captured, how his products have to be sold. On all these aspects, he will be explaining. And he will be having hold on that. That is a pure functional system. Then the fifth one is committee. Now, what is this committee? Committee, in all the organizations, we come across a committee being put up, is formed. A committee is a group of people coming together and analyzing the things. What has to be done, when, why, where, how, all these questions. To analyze these questions, a committee is formed to analyze the system of the organization. Then coming to the principles of the organization. The principles of the organization are a few. There are, now in the explanation, I explained about all these. That the first one is principle of objective. Principle of objective is goal. Ultimately, the organization has to have a goal. If the organization does not have a goal or an objective, then each employee or the management, whoever are working, they might work in an haphazard manner because there is no focus. Nobody knows what to do, where to go, because they don't know what is an objective. So the first principle of the organization is principle of objective. Then the second one is principle of dividing and grouping of work. Dividing and grouping of work. That is, each employee and manager or a worker has to be assigned the individual work so that they can perform their work with sincerity, loyalty, and with clear transparency. Then the third one is principle of relationship between functions, personnel, and physical facilities. Principal functions, that is, who has to do what functions have to be performed by the production, by the HR, by the finance. That is, each department has to be having their own functions to be performed. Then the personnel are the workers who are involved in this functioning. Then the physical facilities. Physical facilities are the provision of good infrastructure, good material, good technology. All these are the physical facilities which will make the worker work for the organization. That is, the machines, the equipments, whatever are needed for the organization to run. Then the next one is principles of effective delegation. Principles of effective delegation, that is, delegating the duties, assigning the duties to everybody. That is very, very important. Then the next one is principles of responsibility and authority. Principles of responsibility and authority is each individual or each person who is being given authority should be made responsible also. That is, if you are showing the authority that I am the boss, then you should take the responsibility of, if something goes wrong, you should take up that responsibility also. So principle of responsibility and authority, and principle of balance, stability, and flexibility. Balance is balancing all the things, that is the workers, the equipments, the infrastructure, the facilities, the time schedules, the work culture, everything has to be balanced. Then only the organization can work in a better manner. Then the last one can be principles of informal organization. Why we are talking about the informal organization? Because formally, if the organization wants to work in a formal manner, and if the organization wants to make the people work for the organization, then there should be an informal association also. That is making the people or the workers understand that, yes, we are taking care of, we are there with you. That will help them in understanding, and which will make them work for the organization in the purview of rules and regulations. So this is all about the first topic, principles of organization. Next, we will talk about office environment. The topic 2 is office environment. In this office environment, now what do we understand by the word environment? Environment is the surroundings what an employee has. Office environment means the surroundings, whatever is being experienced by the worker in the organization, that is known as office environment. Office environment is of two types, that is the social as well as the physical. Now, social is the interaction between the associates, the co-workers, the managers, the management, that is having a communication, that is socializing. That is a social environment. The social environment also has many implications. That is, if there is no coordination, if there is a misunderstanding between two employees, then the work environment will not be cordial. The people, the workers who are working, they might feel that I will not go to the office, I will not go to the work, because my co-workers are not helping me, they are not understanding me, they are making me feel low, they are not cooperating me. That is a social environment, we can say. Next is the most important one, we can say, is the physical environment. Physical environment is the surroundings of the organization. Surroundings is where the organization is situated, the place, the area, within the office, the surroundings, all these matter a lot, because they have to achieve the targets based on the environment also. If the environment is not proper, then the employee might feel that I am unable to work properly because of the environment, the physical environment. Now, what are these physical environments? The factors which are responsible for having a good physical environment, or which contribute, or which we can say which contribute for a very good physical environment are, first one is the staff facilities. The staff facilities are, in this we can say, the first one is lightning. Now, what do you understand by the word lightning? Lightning is, we see in many of the offices, they won't put on lights only, or they use, in some offices they use huge solar lights or big lights, focused lights, which will make a great impact on the eyes of the employees. With what happens, for example, if you go to a photo studio or where they have focused lights, these focused lights will not be good for the working of the employees. So the organization should keep in mind the lightning, which will help the employees work in the organization with a very good. The lightning also is very important. Light. the very good light, LED lights that are which are very soothing to the eyes, which will not create disturbance in the eyes. And with that, what will happen? The employees will be able to work with an positive attitude. Then the second one we can say is the temperature and humidity. The temperature. Now as in some where we can say that in summer the organizations make the employees work in the hot summer also. The employees will not be able to work nicely because the temperatures will be high and there will be suffocation, there will be a disaster for them. So they might not be able to concentrate on their work, and there might be the work might not be go the work might not go on in a very positive manner. Then the third one is ventilation. Ventilation is proper ventilation is very, very important for the organization. If there is no proper ventilation, if the room is gloomy, if there is no light, proper sunlight, then the employees who are working, they might feel that there is no proper ventilation, no sunlight. This will create some false odor. There might be some odor which will not be and there might be the room might be a odor one, a smelly one, and because there is no sunlight passing through, and there might be the clear the whatever the sun. If there is a proper ventilation, then there will be positivity, there will be positive energy going around. So ventilation is very, very important. Then noise also plays a very, very important role. Now we come across when offices which are situated onto the road, near to the road, if you talk to them, there will be a huge disturbance in the call. That is, there will be traffic, the noise of the traffic. Then they will be telling that we are unable to hear you because of the traffic. Or there might be other noises also, the machines, whatever they are using, or the disturbances, whatever are being created in and around. So noises have to be taken care of by the organization to create a very good environment for the workers to work in a better manner. Then interiors and the room decorations. Interiors are the color of the walls, the color of the curtains. All these also have to be taken care of. If you see many offices, they use light colors. That is, the office colors will be white or cream or light color, light pink, light colors. They won't use bright colors because light colors make the work culture or the mind mild, which will help the organization in achievement of the organization. Because when as a person, when they observe bright light, bright color on the wall, there will be a direct impact on the work. So they use in the offices, mostly we see light colors, white, mostly they use white color, half white colors, light pinks, or very light colors, which will help them that when the employees see that colors, it will be a positive energy. And another important one is dust also. Dust is also a very important one. If you have dust everywhere, the employees will feel that the organization is not giving them a very good atmosphere to work. and they might feel that if there might be employees who might have dust allergies, who might be having asthma, who might be having any other health issues because of that dust allergies. And so, which will create a non-cooperative atmosphere, I can say, which will create hurdles for the organization and which might give a non-cooperative atmosphere in the organization. Then fire hazards, I can say, and fire hazards and hazardous conditions, where you can take the example of a pharmaceutical company or petroleum product companies, where they have to use the we can say fire hazards, where more fire hazards can take place. So the organization has to take care of the employees, their health. And in the pharmaceutical companies also, there are more prone to ill health. The employees are prone to allergies, all these. So there should be a medical team every time to address the problems. Then if they are working in an petroleum industry, petroleum products industry, then there might be fire extinguishers. They have to address the fire issues, health hazards, all these. So there should be a very, very conducive atmosphere for the organization to make the workers work for the organization in a better manner. Then the next important one is cleanliness also. Cleanliness is very, very important. If the organization does not provide cleanliness, then the workers might leave the organization. The workers might feel that if there is no cleanliness, then the workers might feel that, yes, I am not able to work with this organization because of the work, they are not following the cleanliness and they are not following the norms of the organization. So this is also a very important aspect to be taken into consideration. Then the next important one is the color or the conditioning of the office. Color, as I told you, the color of the whenever if you go to an office or in an organization or any place, you just observe that they won't go with bright colors. The partitions, there will be an office atmosphere. If there is no office atmosphere, there will be good curtains, furnishing, good blends of window blends, all these, the carpet, the flooring will be with the carpet, everything. We come across all these in corporate offices also, because which will make them, there will be air conditions and which will make the atmosphere lively, energetic. And they, with these all office and with these all physical environment, positive physical environment, the people, whenever, for example, if a person who enters into the office in the morning, when he sees the atmosphere of the office, that is, if there is proper ventilation, proper lighting, without any noise, with good neatness, cleanliness, without any noise, dust and everything, he will feel energetic and there will be lots of positivity in themselves. And they will work for the organization because their mind will be fresh and they will feel that, yes, I got a very good atmosphere and I should work for the organization. And the furniture which is being given to the employees also plays a very important role, because it will give a very good impact on the organization as well as the people who visit the organization. Because of the physical environment, the employees also will address the people or the clients who are coming to the organization in a positive manner. So these are all we can say that which will help the organization in achievement of the organizational objectives. So this is all about the office environment. So in the today's class, we discussed about the block 2 office environment and as well as principles of office organization. So this is all about the block 2. So if you have any doubts, you can come up. We have 2 minutes of time. We can discuss. Any doubts regarding today's class?
No.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.